Rev up your engines!
Well, Tesla's sales have dropped for the second straight quarter, their revenues. And what's happening is, of course, less people are buying the EVs, but the EVs that are selling are more affordable EVs. You know, he started off on the wrong foot, making expensive electric vehicles. Look at Volkswagen. They started in concepts with tiny little cars. Now, they make bigger cars, better cars. Took them decades, right? But they made a lot of money with the small ones. You don't start big, because the bigger they are, the more expensive they are, the longer it takes to recharge them, which is a giant deal. At least with gasoline cars, yeah, you could fill a Volkswagen Beetle up faster. You know, it had a tiny little 10-gallon tank. An American car, I got a 22-gallon tank, right? But still, it doesn't take that much difference between putting in 10 and 20 gallons at the pump. But electrically speaking, you're talking about hours or even days longer to charge a giant battery. So it's a completely different setup there. That small would have really been a better idea. Now, as for the company itself, Tesla shares are down about 18% this year, and that's the worst among all the mega stocks. People are finally realizing, hey, and even Elon's hedging his bets now. Here's what Elon is saying, I quote, "We probably could have a few rough quarters. I'm not saying that we will, but we could." Even he's not saying, oh, we're going to sell billions of these things to make a fortune, right? And, of course, some of the money that he's losing is those stupid regulatory credits that, oh, well, you give credits to the other companies, and then they pay Tesla money. That went from $890 million last year to $439 this time. Because, guess what? Trump and those guys are getting rid of that stuff, which makes total sense. Why should you give money to one company so that the other one can pollute more or whatever? And it's not like these don't pollute. Their factories pollute. Elon Musk's and his companies have been sued for polluting too much all over the place. Texas, California, you name it. And it's not just people are revolting against Elon and his right-wing policies and stuff. That stuff's going away. He doesn't have any power in that anymore. And of course, at the end of this September, that's going to be the end of the federal $7,500 EV tax credit. So, things are not looking good at Tesla. Well, it looks like the Tesla Model Y refresh has bombed. Now, almost everybody says that this refresh of the Model Y is a half-hearted reskin of a car. And they suggest maybe they should have really done it over. But of course, to do it over costs a lot of money. The regular car manufacturers in the United States for over 100 years, every year they change models a little bit here, a little bit there. Costs them a lot of money to change things over, right? But Americans get easily bored. It's probably why the divorce rate is so high in the United States, because the people get bored being married to each other. They want somebody else. Well, it's the same thing with a car. I'm tired of that car. I want one that looks different. Well, guess what? The Teslas pretty much all look the same. And as my wife says, most of them are pretty ugly to begin with. Tesla sales are sliding. Even that Doge is all gone now, right? Department of Government Efficiency, that's gone. But the sales are still going down. This is a big deal because the Model Y is roughly 2/3 of Tesla's global sales. The Model Y is 2/3 of their sales. And this new change, they're not selling. For example, last year, the top selling car was a Toyota, not a Model Y. People are kind of getting tired of this electric car stuff, obviously. You don't get any kind of detail on how the Model Y is performing at retail because Tesla doesn't publish model or country sales. They won't tell you this stuff, right? They want to keep it secret. All I got to say is whenever somebody keeps something secret, they're hiding something, baby. And they were all saying last year, oh, well, don't worry, the sales will come back. We got a new model. It's not a new model. They hardly did anything at all to it. The New York Times reported that Tesla's factories are operating at only 70% capacity in the second quarter of 2025. They're making lots of them because they can't sell them. And in Europe, hey, Sweden, Tesla sold 53.7% fewer cars in May than they did the year before. Portugal, they were down 68%. In China, their sales are down 11.7% from last year. And this is even taking into consideration you get 0% financing. So, Tesla is indeed doo-doo. They can talk the talk, but if they don't walk the walk, eventually people just don't buy them. Oh, look, the new Model Y. Look, what's new about it, right? It isn't. It should have been completely done over. But, you know, they just want to keep making it. They want to make it as cheap as possible so they don't have to redesign everything, right? Elon is a computer dude, right? He is not a style. Dude, you can tell by what he wears and how he walks, right? I mean, look at the Cybertruck, a stylistic disaster. Nobody's buying those things. Well, Nissan has done over the Leaf. They have the new Leaf, and hey, look how good it is. Unlike the early Nissan ugly Leaf, this thing is a good-looking vehicle. It's like a compact SUV. I mean, it is nice looking. It's still an electric vehicle with all the baggage that it has, but they did redesign it to look nice. Look, the Nissan Leaf went to ugly to a nice looking car. The Teslas pretty much look the same all the time. They don't change it. And that's the automotive industry. People like change. They like buying something new, something that looks better, something that has a big change. If you compare this Leaf to, say, check this Leaf, the original one, which is ugly as can be. At least, even though Nissan is a failing company, they still have designs that people will buy. Hey, they sell the heck out of their little SUVs. Now, granted, the gasoline ones aren't all that well made. They break down. They don't last all that long, but they still sell quite a few of them. And their design guys have changed the Leaf so it actually looks like a nice vehicle. No, not that I'd say I'm going to go out and buy one, but I mean, it's much less expensive than the Teslas, and it's not a bad-looking vehicle. Maybe you want a second vehicle, right? I met a guy with a Leaf in Boston when I was there for 3 months. And I asked him, I said, what do you think of this car? And he says, oh, I love it, but I just use it for commuting around. We use our Hyundai bigger SUV for traveling all over the country, but we used this one to go around town in Boston. He liked it small, you can park it, and he didn't have any problems with it. Didn't put that many miles on it, only had like 65,000 miles on it, and it was like 7 years old. So maybe it's a second car. They're at least getting some design in there, right? And so now electric cars, they're getting a lot more competition in companies like Tesla. They're going to find, hey, they're not the only game in town now, and they don't even make a small car. Well, say it ain't so, Joe. AI-enabled trash trucks will soon scan your trash to scold you about recycling. Just what we need. There are AI-wielding trash trucks in Dayton. They have a fleet of recycling rigs that have artificial intelligence-powered scanning capabilities. They scan through your garbage to make sure you're not tossing food waste and batters into the wrong bins. And here's what the city manager says. You can tell he's a bureaucrat. Reducing contamination in our recycling system lowers processing costs and improves the overall efficiency of our collection. This technology allows us to target problem areas, educate residents, and make better use of city resources. The trash truck's finding will be sent back to the residents on a personal-sized postcard. It'll tell residents what they should leave out of the recycling cans next time, whether it's plastic bags, styrofoam, or used paper towels. Now, just what we need, AI garbage trucks. Who knows what they're going to find, right? I mean, Big Brother is watching you. Big Brother Garbage Man is watching you, yeah? Oh, they're supposed, no, we're not garbage men, we're sanitation engineers, right? Now, this is no small-time thing. The city of Centerville says that they serve 6,500 customers and collect 8,000 tons of waste and 1,400 tons of recyclables every year. And the machines are looking through them. Be careful what you throw away. You might have some rather strange thing in there, and the machine is watching it. The robots are now looking through our garbage. And AI is checking it out. Now, you can imagine the software glitches that'll happen. You get a postcard from them, hey, and then somebody who's got a sense of humor might, at night, when no one's looking, put weird things in your recycling. Hey, if neighbors having feuds, it could be endless. You know, it could be one of those, the neighbor next door videos where they have feuds and somebody gets bonked over the head or knocked out because of what they threw in the neighbor's garbage can. We must stop this AI from taking over our society. Believe it or not, there is an electric motorcycle out there that costs less than an iPhone, and you can buy it on Amazon. Check it out. It's not bad looking. It's called the Roar EZ Oben. I could give them a better name, but there's only one real downside is you can only buy it in India. They're selling it in India. But can you imagine? If you can buy an electric motorcycle for that price, that's cheaper than a lot of electric bicycles. These things, you can get them for like less than $1,500. They're commuting motorcycles. The top speed is only like 55 miles an hour. But how fast do you need to go when you're commuting? And if they can actually sell that and it works, I've got electric bicycles that cost $3,500. I would much rather have some cute little motorcycle like that. Says that it can charge up to 80% in 45 minutes. So hey, wherever you're going, Or let's say you drove and you ran out of electricity, charge it up while you're eating lunch. That's not bad. That's the advantage of a motorcycle. See, motorcycles don't weigh as much, so the batteries don't weigh as much, so you can charge them up a lot faster, right? It's only common sense. Now, they're starting it out in India, but hey, they could take over a lot of places where people now have little bicycles or scooters if they can get an electric motorcycle. Hey, for that price, $1,500, and it holds up, and they're nice looking too. They're not ugly looking, right? That would be a game changer. And they're using lithium iron phosphate, the LFP batteries, which they say have twice the lifespan of lithium ion batteries and have 50% improved temperature resistance. So they're not affected as much by the cold or by the heat, which is also a good thing. So, hey, if they start selling electric motorcycles that cost less than iPhones in the United States, I tell you, they'd sell quite a few of them. Electric motorcycles in the United States, as it stands today, are pretty much a failure because they want big ones to drive all over the place, go far, and they can't because they run out of electricity. But if some people want some cute little things for $1,500 to zoom around in, that could be a game changer, like the little Honda monkeys they used to sell. Hey, there is a market for certain types of things. Now, it's not like India, where there's like millions of people riding around on electric bikes and electric motorcycles. That's a different story. But still, it could sell a certain amount in the United States. There's always an angle for something like that. Well, you gotta laugh at this one. The Tesla robot at his diner failed to serve popcorn correctly. It would freeze up. Right? And he was saying, my Optimus robot, they're going to build cars, they're going to be in your house, they're going to vacuum. Well, it can't even serve popcorn. And this is what makes it even more hilarious. That Optimus robot was teleoperated that was serving popcorn. It wasn't doing it on its own. It was being operated by a person in the background wirelessly, right? All Elon saying these robots, he's going to sell millions of them, they're going to revolutionize society. Ha! He watched too many episodes of The Jetsons when he was a kid, I guess. Now, if you remember, Musk touted Optimus as a revolutionary product that'll generate trillions of dollars for Tesla. Well, it can't even serve popcorn when somebody's operating it in the background. Yet another failure is on the way. How they say that Tesla's still worth $1 trillion is beyond me. Of course, it's all stocks and it's made up crap anyway. Hilarious enough, if you followed the news last month, Tesla's head of Optimus, Elon, he left the company. He said, whoop, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this crap. And then earlier this month, Tesla paused production because they had to do a bunch of upgrades to the current version of the robot. Robot.2, Robot.3, right? Now, the current version, they're reportedly saying it can only move some batteries inside the workshop, and it's slower than the human workers who were moving batteries. He said he was going to make 100,000 robots a month and then start selling the robot. Well, you can't buy them yet, and they certainly haven't perfected them. If it can't even serve popcorn, that's a pretty simple thing, serving popcorn, right? One guy tweeted, Tesla Optimus froze and couldn't serve popcorn at the Tesla diner. Too many people were using Starlink Wi-Fi network. The teleoperator couldn't connect to Optimus and he froze. We all know, wow, you have problems with wireless stuff. Come on, that's just common sense, right? But you think they could have figured that one out? Now, if your wife yells at you because you buy stuff you don't even use, hey, tell them about Bill Gates. Bill Gates supposedly has never even stepped once on a $645 million yacht, right? It's 390 feet long. It runs on liquid hydrogen stored at minus 423.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And he doesn't use it, so it's now headed to the 2025 Monaco Yacht Club. Try to sell it. You want to buy a used yacht from this man? It's called the Breakthrough, and it was hailed as the world's first hydrogen-powered super yacht, but Bill didn't even use it. Now, they're asking $645 million. You get 14 balconies, 2 offices, a basketball court, and a bunch of libraries. Bill backed out of the purchase. Now, I mean, if you're looking for a party yacht, hey, this thing sleeps 30 guests in 15 rooms, and it has a 4-level townhouse by the sea that the owner stays in. It cruises at 14 knots and goes 17 knots. It's not that fast, really. You know, I mean, all that money, you want something a little faster than that, right? But let's say you don't have that kind of money. Guess what? Jimmy Buffett's 90-foot Explorer yacht is heading for auction, and the starting bid is only $1.2 million. So, and it's older too. It was made in the 90s. It was an Explorer yacht, 90 foot long. You can buy Jimmy Buffett's much smaller yacht. Maybe you're a parrot head. I don't know. Somebody will certainly buy that one. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.